Hi there. My name's Jonathan Kutz. I'm the teacher for the history of American music. Wanted to make a short video to tell you what this class is about. It could go in many directions, and the direction that this is going to go is popular music. Like the title says, but we could be talking show tunes, or we could be talking all kinds of different music. It concentrates on the trail of the blues. It says in here, the blues are uniquely American, provide the basis for all great styles that followed. Follow the music of the American slave. From field hollers, work songs, spirituals came the basis for jazz, blues, R&B, rock and roll, country, soul, Latin, heavy metal, classic rock, punk, dance music, disco to EDM to hip hop, grunge, and more. And that's about it. I mean, that's about it. Just those styles. From really roughly 1900 to the present, those are the styles. A little bit of week by week, blow by blow of what's going on here. Week one, we do an orientation and study the history of jazz. It's a the course is based on, I call it video lectures. I have scoured the web and I found some documentary series that we watch. And the course is all video based. Let's watch a video while you fill in a study guide. I made study guides for all these videos. They're quite intense. There's a lot of information, but you get to use these quizzes to use these study guides to take the quizzes. Okay. A little bit about the course. There's 2 quizzes per week and 1 discussion board. Due dates for the discussion board. The quizzes are worth. You can take each quiz 2 times. So I think it's easy, and because you have the study guide and you watched it, taking the quiz should be a piece of cake. So 15 weeks, 2 quizzes, that's 30. There's also a midterm and a final. There's also a discussion board due, but the discussion board's maybe not as intense as what you do in other classes. If we're studying country music, I'll have you find a country artist. Let's say it's from the 1930s to 50s. Let's say you pick Hank Williams. Find me a YouTube video of Hank Williams, a famous song. Give me a little bit of information that you copy from Wikipedia, and then tell me why you picked the song. It's not, and then you have to respond to 3 other responses by week's end. The quizzes are worth 50%. The discussion board's worth 30%, and then there's a midterm and a final, both worth 10%. So does that make sense? It's a little bit of weekly work. I don't think it's too much. I think it's about the perfect amount, and it's worth something. So you're scoring points the whole while. Let's take a lookie at the class real quick. As I said, Unit 1 is orientation, and we do a jazz documentary, and then we get on to the blues. There's 2 blues documentaries that we study. And we use 2 documentary series that you can buy, that you need to buy, or you can stream them. Sonic Highways by Dave Grohl, and Sound Breaking, series done by PBS, 10-hour documentary. Sonic Highways is 8-part documentary. We watched 7 of those, I believe. We'll watch about the music of New Orleans and the music of Chicago. So we're studying with the blues, and then we move on to the birth of country music. We're going to watch 5 hours of country music history. That's really, really great. If you love country music, you got to take this, because I swear there's stuff that you don't know. The birth of country music, there's 2 hours that week. Then we move on to Latin music, which we study Latin music from the 20s on up to to Woodstock, of Carlos Santana playing with the Latin rhythm section. Part 2 delves into Tejano music. Well, heck, this is the birthplace of Tejano, the birthplace of country music. Let's learn about where we live. More country music. We study, Dave Grohl takes us to Nashville, and then there's a documentary about all the women of country music. So that's really cool. Last but not least, in week 7, we will learn about the producers and how the producers affect the music that you hear. All kinds of most of the work is done on a mixing board and adding effects and doing all these things. Now we're all doing our home studios. Then it's midterm. For this semester, it's due on March 3rd, right before spring break. Second half of the semester would be this. It's all the sound breaking music series. You can Google it, look it up, see what you'll be watching. They're really, really great. The art of recording and painting with sound. All the great producers through history, and how those producers used the studio to paint with sound, right? All the great singers, all the great guitar players. Outlaw Country starts with Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, onwards, and then also sound breaking, the history of drumming and the beat, right? We go all the way from guys beating drums to EDM music. Studying sound breaking with Dave, Sonic Highways with Dave Grohl, New York City and Washington, D.C. Also in sound breaking, music, TV, and film. I think that's MTV and the power of TV to push music on us, and how we listen to music, formats. Starts with the old Edison coils and comes on up to albums, LPs, cassettes, CDs, MP3s, the whole history of that. Really interesting how it changes every 10 years. Studying the music of Austin, our backyard, the music of Seattle, the grunge movement of the 90s. Dave Grohl is an expert on Seattle because that's where he moved to. Hip Hop Evolution Parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, all on Netflix. And then the final. And that's it. It's the greatest course, and nobody knows about it. Tell your friends. Got lots of great courses to take here on the MCC campus. This is the best. Thanks for listening.